Good afternoon, everybody. We will get started in just a minute. I see some people jumping on last minute, so we'll just give them a chance to settle in. We'll get started shortly. All right, everybody. I want to thank you for joining us here today. My name is Dustin Olsharik, one of the Senior Directors of Sales here at Pinnacle Financial Services. I thank you all for joining us here today. We'll keep this webinar somewhat quick in the interest of time. We don't like to, drag them on too much, but you all are on mute, so feel free to ask some questions as they come up in the box. I will get to them at the end of the webinar. Again, appreciate you joining us here. Some things I always like to start off with is just so you can get in contact with us. If you have any questions, don't know who to get a hold of about, contact our team. And then we have our sales team here. So if you need to add a different carrier, you got a new license, you need to add some states, you can reach out to all your directors of sales here. We have our extensions, email addresses, everything like that. So we're not hiding from you. We want to hear from you on a regular basis. That also being said, our excellent support staff, best in the business, in my opinion. So if you need any member IDs, you want to make sure that application did get sent to the carrier correctly. You need kits, brochures, check on a member ID, any of that good stuff. You're having trouble getting into your certifications, anything like that. Our health support staff is here to help you. All their extensions and email addresses are here as well. Licensing support, you can't figure out how to do a contracting link, you don't know where it came from, they will walk you through it and help you get through the contracting process. And then business operations and business processing, we still have an in-house enrollment team that will take paper apps in case you have to meet with a client face-to-face, or the client doesn't want to do a electronic app. We will scrub them, process them, send them directly to the carrier, make sure that you get paid on them. Okay. So GTL, hospital indemnity, cross-selling. If you are selling Medicare Advantage, you need to be selling hospital indemnity plans. It is literally the number one cross-selling product in our industry, at least for our agents, even ahead of dental, vision, hearing, and stuff like that. But if you're not selling hospital indemnity, you need to be. You're doing your client a disservice, and you're keeping your wallet thinner as well too, because you can make decent money on it, and it's a great way to add more value as an agent. So cross-selling, as we know, is the number one way to help retain clients. The more policies that you have with a client, the less likely they are to leave you, the harder it is for them to leave you, and the more valuable you become as an agent to them. When I had to go out and buy homeowners insurance, the first thing I did is I called my auto insurance carrier to see if they could bundle it, if they offered it. I already had a good relationship with them, trusted them, so they were my go-to, who I checked with first. So just keep that in mind. You want to be the go-to person for your clients for any product line. And I see a lot of familiar faces on this webinar. I see a bunch of new people on here as well too. If you're going to pick up one extra product this year and you're selling Medicare, I recommend doing the hospital indemnity. There's no election period for it. You can sell it year round, and it's a great way to diversify your business. So, we talk a lot about that now. What happened last AEP with plans becoming non-commissionable, most of the PDPs going to non-commissionable. We have a feeling that trend is going to continue into this AEP as well. With most of the PDPs not being commissionable, some of the PPO plans being suppressed and non-commissionable as well too. So that setting yourself up for success now will help you in the future with diversifying your business. Now, Medicare is not going away. I'm sure it always changes back and forth, but from what we gather, this AEP is going to look a lot like the way last AEP did. So set yourself up now. This product is super easy to learn. It's super easy to sell. It's super easy to add in. I always get so many questions from agents asking, how are agents selling this? Like, how can I incorporate it? And the simple answer is you just need to bring it up and talk about it. That by default, if you sell 30 to 40% of your clients on it, you're getting that automatically without having to do extra marketing for it or anything like that. A lot of my agents always, obviously in AEP, we see a upkick in hospital indemnity plans because clients are changing their MAPD plan. They might need to readjust their benefit amount. It's a great opportunity to talk about it with your clients. Then I always recommend an OEP. That's another great time to revisit it with your clients. As a good agent, you should be checking in with your clients. The end of January, mid-January, make sure that they got their cards. If they have any questions about their OTC benefits, anything like that, just making sure that everything in the experience was good for them with their policy that they were written on during AEP. That's a great time to bring up the hospital indemnity as well too. Use a generic scope of appointment. If you don't have one in our AEP toolkit, as we log in here, we have generic ones if you're going to be doing paper apps. Obviously, everything has kind of gone to e-applications, but like I said, we have that enrollment system. We still take tons of paper apps every day. So if you need a generic scope of appointment in the Medicare toolkit, which turns into the AEP toolkit in October, we have them here. Reason why we say is use generic scopes, because if you are using a carrier scope of appointment and they don't have a hospital indemnity plan, we've seen it sometimes where that product is not on there. So a generic scope is 100% CMS compliant. Every carrier must accept it. You're good to go with it. But we recommend to start a couple ways to present this. Have them check off all the boxes. Then when you're going through the plan details of your Medicare Advantage, you say, hey, we checked off everything on the scope of appointment. Generally your two biggest costs on a Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan are going to be your prescription costs and then your inpatient hospital stay. I have something that does cover that, and then you can go into it from there. Another great way that people present it is you have the two worlds, obviously, of Medicare, the Medicare supplement, standalone prescription drug plans, standalone dental plans, and then the Medicare Advantage world. So a lot of times what agents will do is set themselves up. I mean, obviously the client can pick either way that they want to go, but they'll present a Medicare supplement, present a standalone prescription drug plan, and then a standalone dental plan. You're looking at those total monthly premiums being around maybe, I don't know, depending upon the age, and if you're doing an N or a G or something like that, 250 or up to 300, depending upon, like I said, what state you're in. So the client sees that, they're going to be spending several $100s per month with that option. And then you present the other option, which in most cases is a zero premium Medicare Advantage plan that has built-in prescription drug coverage, and then a standalone hospital indemnity plan for on average between 25 and 30 bucks. And a lot of times presenting the sale that way, you kind of already, if they are not interested in a supplement and that's not something that they're willing to spend or maybe that they can't afford, you kind of have already set yourself up for an A-OK with a Medicare Advantage and a hospital indemnity plan, because it's like, hey, your hospital isn't covered. We pair these two plans, a Medicare Advantage with a hospital indemnity, to make sure that you're covered on your big expenses for a Medicare Advantage plan, and it pretty much sells itself. So those are two great ways to present it. My agents do it all the time. If you're not talking about it, you're not going to sell it. So, setting a goal of just working that into your regular spiel with your clients or appointments, like, hey, this is what I want to go over. We're going to go over your dental options. We're going to go over the benefits of the Medicare Advantage plan. We're going to go over the hospital indemnity plans. Another great way is just simply asking, if it's a new client or existing one, who do you have your hospital coverage with? Just asking a question, like as if, who do you have your car insurance with? As if it was, something that everybody has or should have. So presenting it that way, hey, who do you have your hospital insurance with? Oh, you don't have that? Well, let me explain why it's something you might want to consider, or it's a good idea to have it. Let's take a look at your Medicare Advantage. If you're in the hospital for a week, it's going to cost you a couple $1,000 for $27 a month. You can have that covered and you'll get a check cut to you. So benefits, obviously, of selling hospital indemnity is, especially for agents, you're working in AEP from October 15th. Well, you're working prior to that, but the selling season is the dates of October 15th to December 7th. So you're working for 2.5 months, selling 1/1 effective dates where you're not getting paid out to the first or second week of January. Hospital indemnity plans, especially GTL, they pay out within a week. So that's extra money during the selling season, during the holiday season when you're waiting 2.5, 3 months to get paid for all the hard work that you do during AEP. It's a great way to earn extra cash right then and there. And again, year-round selling, there's no election period to it. Talk about it during AEP. Talk about it during OEP. Talk about it in ROI. We call that the rest of year. Talk about it all the time. Add it into your discussions when you are talking with clients. It's a great way to earn extra money and become more valuable to them. So we're going to run a couple different scenarios and quotes here. So if you are an agent with us, you have full access to the Pinnacle site. You hover over quoting. The hospital indemnity product is going to fall under the Medicare tab here. So you'll simply click that, head to click for a Medicare quote. It is going to open another tab and bring you up to our CSG quoting. We also have this on a mobile app as well too. So if you are, let's say you don't have internet access for your laptop or something like that, download Pinnacle Quoting. It's for Android, Apple. It's free. We'll see that you're one of our agents and we'll give you access to it so you can run some quotes on the go. Maybe there's an opportunity to, run one when you don't have your laptop with you. Everybody always has their cell phones with them, so not a bad idea. We'll head right over to hospital indemnity. Pretty self-explanatory. You plug in the zip code. I'm going to plug in a local one here by us. We'll keep it strictly as 65 female, non-smoker. We'll hit get quote, and it's going to bring up the options. There's tons of great hospital indemnity plans out there. United Healthcare, UH1, Golden Rule, Medico, GTL. Traditionally, I see most of my agents sell GTL. They have some of the most riders. They have some of the easiest underwriting. Their e-application is super easy. They pay out the quickest. So, sign up for a couple different ones because they may vary state to state. But I do recommend if you are going to get signed up with one, do Medico, or a few of them, do Medico and GTL. They're some of the better ones, and Golden Rule out there. They're great hospital indemnity plans. So obviously, let's just bring up, let's say you are in a meeting with your client and you're going through the benefits of the Medicare Advantage plan, which you're supposed to do anyway, go through all the plan details, if there's a deductible, what your doctor will be, specialist, anything like that. Let's just do a general quote here, and we will pick a plan to compare them to. We'll just pick Bucks. And we will bring up some of these plans here. So let's just take a look at independence. Let's say you are going to put your client on the Keystone 65 Basic RX HMO. So let's bring up the plan details. You're going through this anyway. it's great because you can do quotes 3 different ways with Pinnacle. You can do it on our CSG, which I'm going to show you in a second. You can add it into your portfolio when you are talking to your client on Connecture, add more coverage, or you can do it on the carrier site. So you're going through the plan details with your client, inpatient hospital care. So if you are on this plan, you're going to be spending $250 a day, days 1 through 7, it looks like. So that's what you need to know that you have to cover. So again, you can add more coverage right here and do it. I like to break down a little bit better on the CSG. So we know we need a 7-day benefit. So we're going to scroll down to the 7-day benefit for GTL. We'll just do this for an example. We'll hit view plan details. Reason why I'm showing you on here, it's a little bit more visually friendly. The screen pops up a little bit bigger. So we know that we are putting our client on that IBC HMO, that they're going to need to cover a benefit of $250 a day, days 1 through 7. So we know that you can up this here to $250 a day, days 1 through 7. So literally for $21.06 a month, you can cover that hospital stay. That's what I mean. It really is something that you need to incorporate into every sale, at least talk about it and bring it up. If you present a Medicare supplement and a standalone PDP and a dental plan, and you see that several $100s a month to get that, and then you present a 0 premium Medicare Advantage plan with a hospital indemnity plan, and they say how the only out-of-pocket you're really going to have per month on these premiums is $21.06, it's going to sell itself. The more riders you add on, the more your commission is. Generally, they're a couple $100s per commission. So if you're selling a Medicare Advantage and tacking on a cancer rider and a hospital indemnity, your commissions can jump up to $700-800 depending upon what you pick on here. So hospital confinement. Now, what some agents will do when they present this, they're not being sneaky or anything. GTL is going to cut the client a check if they're in the hospital for a week for $250 a day. Well, you're in the hospital for a week, bills are still coming in. Maybe your wife is staying in a hotel that's near you. Hospital food sucks. So you're ordering Chick-fil-A down the street, or you want a pizza or something like that. Bills are still coming in. So this benefit amount is going to cover the hospital stay, but what a lot of times people will do is up it. So you can see it's $21.06 to just cover the hospital stay. But if you wanted to change this to, let's just say $300, so the client's making an extra $50 a day, again, for parking, for maybe a hotel, a loved one comes there, food, DoorDash, cell phone bills, whatever, the check gets cut to the client to use for whatever they want to. Obviously, they want to pay their hospital bill, but if there's stuff left over, they can use it for whatever they want. So we upped that to $50 a day. So it jumped from $21.06 to $25.28. So for under $4 a month, if they go in the hospital, they're going to be making $50 a day that they can use for whatever they want to. Why I like GTL, they have so many different riders. You can do a lump sum cancer rider, up to $20,000 lifetime. Let's just add that in here. Obviously, your premium is going to jump up a little bit, but if you're selling a $20,000 cancer policy for somebody and a hospital confinement for $90, almost $90 a month, that's not too bad at all. So just keep that in mind. Not everybody is going to want any of these riders or anything like that. Some people do. Number one rider you're going to see across the board is going to be ambulance. You see, if we add this, generally they're $200. You can up that for whatever you want, but for an ambulance ride to the hospital, it's going to cost you $200 for that ride. For $1.43 a month, you get that covered. So you tack on the ambulance rider and you just cover the benefit amount with making an extra $50 a day for the client. You're at $26.71. Like I said, on average, they're between $20 and $30 to basically cover any client. You're scrolling down, you're checking out all these riders. You can get a dental vision rider, critical accident, outpatient, lump sum hospital benefit. The lump sum hospital benefit would be for, let's say you're on a Medicare Advantage plan where it's not days 1 through 7 a set amount. It's $1,000 if you go in there like a one time. So that's what you would lump this in, depending upon what plan and state you're in. It can vary. Skilled nursing, short stay, mental health, or emergency room visit. So when you're running these quotes and you don't see a rider, just keep in mind riders are state specific. So for instance, California, I don't even believe you can sell hospital indemnity plans. Jersey is limited on them. So some of the states are going to have more riders than the other states. Some are going to have less. So keep that in mind when you're running these quotes. If you're not seeing the rider on there, chances are the reason is that it isn't allowed in that state. That's a state specific thing. So again, you're putting yourself on, or you're putting your client on the Keystone 65 Basic RX HMO. That's a zero premium. And then to give them $300 a day and a hospital or a ambulance rider, you're looking at $26.71. Very easy sell. If you present it in the ways that I told you, I can almost guarantee you're going to increase your business significantly. It's just bringing it up. It's having a conversation. It's incorporating, getting comfortable with the product, making it part of, you're going through those plan benefits anyway with your client. You make it part of your pitch. You're going through that. You say, hey, like we talked about, this is going to be one of your big expenses. If you do go in the hospital on this plan for $26.71, we got you covered on your ambulance. We got you covered if you're in the hospital for a week, and you're going to make an extra $50 a day to put towards anything that you want to. Bills, cell phones, Grubhub, DoorDash, hotels, parking, whatever need be. So a really great way to be able to incorporate that in there. So we're also going to just take a look at the GTL site. I love the GTL site. It's super easy. If you're not contracted with GTL, you should be. Give us a call today to get set up with them. You can check all the products. The great thing when you get set up with GTL, you get a ton of different products with it. So you get the hospital indemnity, you get the cancer, whatever is available in your state, you get to do that. So we'll go to the agent login, and we will hit login here. And you can see there's different options here. Quote, submit, review, resume, fill in gaps tool, access GTL link. So you can download supplies, access marketing materials, view your commissions, quote and submit. Training webinars, they always have webinars. You can register for them on there. Quick cast, minimum issue age now 55, so short-term care, home health care, new digital brochure. You can click and download that. So there's a ton of different products that GTL offers. Once you're licensed and contracted with them, you'll get access to this website and you can browse through and check them out. So I like doing the fill in the gaps tool. It's great. It literally will pick the plan for you. So we're in year 2025. We will do just 19040 again here. It's going to calculate all the different plans that are available in this zip code for the year 2025. Even if you don't have a client for Medicare Advantage, you can still sell them a hospital indemnity plan. That's a great market to tap into too, because let's say you have a client that, okay, right as of right now, we're outside of OEP. So OEP's done. They can't make a one-time change. You get in front of a client, there's no SEP or anything like that to change their Medicare Advantage plan. Well, you can turn that no sale into a sale by selling them a hospital indemnity plan. And then chances are you're going to get them for next AEP to change them on a Medicare Advantage plan. Because, like I said, if you're not talking to them about hospital indemnity plans, there's another agent that is talking to them about hospital indemnity plans. So it looks like we are having a little bit of error here on the GTL site. Not quite sure why. Looks like it might be a site issue with them. I'll try refreshing it, and we'll log out and log back in real quick in a second here. But what I was saying there, it's a great way to make a sale and also get a future client as well too. If the agent that signed them up for a Medicare Advantage plan didn't go over these products with them and let them know that it was going to cost them a couple $1,000s if they're in the hospital for a week. Well, that's a disservice that that other agent did to them. If you help them out and let them know, like, hey, this could be a big expense for $26 a month, we can sign you up with it. You're good to go. I guarantee you're probably going to get their Medicare business the next AEP as well too. And then you just turned an opportunity where you couldn't change their Medicare Advantage to something, to selling them a hospital indemnity and setting yourself up for the future to have another Medicare Advantage client. Let's just try this real quick. Go back in here. There might be some slight issues with GTL right now. Very rarely happens. So we'll do an agent login again and check. We'll do the fill in the gaps tool. And like I said, I'll just do a simple zip code around here. Maybe there's some slight issues with it, but what it does is it brings up all the available plans in the area, regardless of whether you're contracted with them or not, and regardless of if it's not your client or not, and brings that up. You marry it up. It tells you how much benefit amount that you need, same as we basically just did on Connection using the CSG quoting tool, and then you are good to go. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why it's not bringing this up. So it looks like there we go. So select carrier. We know they have a 2025 plan. We pick the zip code. Let's just say Independence Blue Cross, like we were looking at, and we'll select that plan. I believe this is it, the one that we picked earlier. Remove applicant, or we'll remove a second applicant. So you can see here, we did the same thing that we basically did on Connecture and our CSG quoting software, all on GTL site here. It brought it up. It's going to bring up those plan details. It's going to let you know how much they need for that, and it's going to pick the benefit amount. You can download the brochure, send it to it. One of the great things about GTL too is, for the past years that I've been working here, obviously we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but generally during fourth quarter, they have a bonus program. So an extra $25 per application, or an extra $50 if you hit a certain tier. So always check those bonuses out that are going on. We are non-captive FMO, so if you are running the business, you are entitled to them. But they got great brochures on this site that you can download. You can then simply go to apply for the application. I just had an agent who is a currently writing agent herself. She turned 65. She wrote herself on an MAPD, and she just sold herself a GTL hospital indemnity plan, because basically the commissions that she makes on it as well too it's gonna be neutral and wipe out the premium that she has each month. So it's a win-win for her. Like I said, then you simply just plug in the client's information. You can do husband and wives, send it to submit. You can do it face-to-face, and you are good to go. Goes directly to the carriers, and when it is approved, you get paid within a week. They do pay as earned, 6 months advancing, 9 months advancing, 1 year advancing. So like I said, it's a great opportunity to earn extra money year round, not just in AEP or OEP. And if you aren't, bringing this up, you're doing your client a disservice and yourself a disservice to earn extra money. If you need any help getting contracted with GTL or any of the other hospital indemnity plans, feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, there's a lot of familiar faces on here. I see a lot of new faces as well too. If you're not contracted with Pinnacle, why aren't you? I guarantee we'll earn the rest of your business. We have a great CRM system that's free for all of our agents. Website and design that's free for all of our agents. Logo design. We offer Sunflyer and Connector, so you have options of your online enrollment tool systems. Best back office support in the industry. Let us earn the rest of your business. If you need help contracting with any of the carriers or anything like that, feel free to reach out to us. I will open it up now for questions if there is any questions in the box. Good question. No, there is no certifications for hospital indemnity plans, at least that I'm aware of. None that are out there. It's kind of like a med sup carrier. You do the contracting link, then in 3 to 5 business days, when they go through the backgrounding, They shoot you an email with your writing number and access to the GTL site. Great question. How do they make their first payment? It generally will be added in that application, so they can send a check or they can do EFT and take it out that way. They can pay, I believe, fully in a year, or they can pay month to month. So there is going to be different nuances for limits to usage. The great thing about GTL and why I like them as well too, it's not a one-time. So let's say some of the hospital indemnities out there, it's one occurrence. So you get the hospital indemnity plan, you use it, you're done. Like you can't use it again. GTL, after 60 days, you can reuse that policy as long as you're paying your premium. So that's super great. It might vary a little bit state to state. So we'd want to dive into that a little bit different with your specific state, and go into those details so you can reach out to your director of sales and they can go over that with you. That's great. That's great. So again, yeah, no certifications. You don't have to certify to be able to do this. As long as you have your health license, you can get signed up with hospital indemnity plans. I believe they go down to 40 as well too, so it doesn't have to be seniors. You can sell one on your wife or spouse or yourself or friend or something like that. Again, I really appreciate you joining us here today. We talk a lot about cross-selling, diversifying your business. This will help you earn extra cash year-round and become more valuable to your clients. I appreciate you all joining us here today, and I look forward to talking to you soon.